Hello, guys. It is Kate here from Hello Funnels, and welcome to the Doing It Online podcast. Now, today I want to talk about something that, to be honest, took me way too long to figure out. And I know that usually, sort of this time of year, we're getting, we're just sort of past mid year. People are looking for, maybe you haven't hit the goals that you wanted. Maybe you've realized there's a bit of a gap in your knowledge or in something in your business. And I think it's really common this time of year. People are going, all right, well, I want to still grow. I still want to hit my goals. So I'm going to need some help. So I'm going to need and this is where people start going, I need a mentor or a mastermind or a coach or just to join a program to sort of like get me to that next level, to help me to upskill, to give me the feedback or advice that I need. And I know that it's a really tricky thing to try and figure out which one is the right one for you. So I wanted to talk you through my process because I've got it very, very wrong over the years. And I have spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars on coaching programs, courses, mentors, you know, from all that I've done the gamut. And, I'm not here to say one is better than the other, but more to help you ask a couple of really key questions of yourself to help you to figure out actually what is it that I need right now? What's going to be most useful to me right now? What's going to help me to get the best results right now? And then to be able to use that as your filter when you're looking at the different, programs and things out there. So let's dive right on in. Alrighty, guys. As mentioned, if you're listening to this episode, I'm assuming that you are, at the moment considering, or you have previously, or maybe it's at the back of your mind that's, towards it later in the year, you're going to be looking for someone to come in and help you in your business. And I don't think I need to explain how important it is at certain stages of your business to have that sort of extra help, to have that sounding board. I know from my own personal story, multiple times and particularly whenever I've sort of like felt like I've hit a level and I've gotten stuck, that's when I'm always like, okay, I need a fresh set of eyes, or I need a new different brain, a different strategy, different way of looking at things, someone to reflect stuff back to me. I need some outside help. I've managed to get myself to a certain point and I need some help. And I'm not the kind of person who needs to be in a program all the time, even though I am a pretty constant learner. I'm always doing online programs, but as far as like that higher level coaching and stuff, I tend to go through phases where I'm like, all right, I'm good on my own. I just want to get to work and get stuff done. And then other times where I really crave either having that mentor or even just having a community. And there's been so many different seasons in my own business where I've needed very different things. And this is where I kind of came up with this list of questions after getting it wrong a few times and being distracted by perhaps some things I shouldn't have been distracted by, now I have this list that before I make any kind of big investment, that, like anything that's over like $1,000 basically, then I have to kind of run it through these filters and make sure like this is the right choice. Because it's not just about choosing something and it being the right investment for your money and not wasting your money. It's also about your time and your focus. Because if you choose something and it's just not the right strategy for you, or it's not the right group for you, then you've kind of, you generally don't have the capacity to then go, okay, well, I'll go do something else. So what you're then doing is having to wait to the end of that program or till you have the revenue or resources to invest in something else. And then, that's just a waste of your time. So I don't want you wasting time. I don't want you wasting money. I don't want to be wasting time or money either. And so I'm going to take you through these questions now. So very first thing, and I think this is super important because I don't believe that people should be overextending themselves, getting into debt. I know other people have different sort of views on this kind of things, but I think that the first thing you need to do is you need to check in with your budget. So everyone should have a budget. It doesn't have to be anything crazy complicated, but within that budget, you need to have, as a business owner, you need to have a line item and a percentage for your own development, growth, support, coaching. Like every single business does. You cannot, it's very, very hard to grow. It takes a lot longer. And so usually, and it does depend on your stage of business, but it's between 5 to 15% is what is recommended. Usually as your sort of revenue grows, that percentage will come down. But particularly in the beginning stages or in the sort of like, mid six figure kind of stages, between like 5, 10%, 15%, it kind of is one of those things that you also have to look at, you obviously what other expenses you have, maybe whether it's team and marketing and things like that. But you always need to have a line item for, for coaching, for your own personal development and growth and learning. So check in, does it fit within your budget? If not, go find someone that does, because there's 1,000 different programs out here. And new ones being, of all different ranges, from one-to-one support down to, or group support down to DIY. So you just need to find something that fits in with what you can afford. You do not want to be putting extra financial pressure on yourself, particularly at the start, because when you're in that headspace, it's very hard to be productive and stuff as well. Again, some people thrive on that, but I do not. So that's always number one. Does it fit the budget? Number two is to really sit back, and it can be difficult when you've just read about a program and go, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. This sounds like the thing. And often like maybe there's a little bit of a celebrity factor going on with like, maybe this is someone you've always idolized, or you get major FOMO when they're posting about their stuff. And so you're kind of letting that cloud your judgment a little bit. I've fallen for that myself. So it's really important to sit back and go, okay, what do I actually need right now? And usually it's not just one thing, but it'll be a couple of things, but you need to figure out. And usually it comes down to 4 things. So of these 4, I'm going to tell you what they are now. And I want you to think about, like, maybe rank them in order of what is the most important thing for me right now. What's the thing that's going to be the most useful, most valuable, that I need to be able to solve the problems I currently have to get to that next level? So number 1, community and connections. And this is a real and important thing. Sometimes just being in the room, even if it's a virtual room, with a certain group of people at a certain level, it opens up opportunities, opens up chances to do joint ventures, chances to get introduced to different people, just to sort of see that and be inspired by what other people are doing, hear what's working in the real world. Like that, can be a super valuable thing. So is that where does that kind of sit on your ranking of 1 to 4? Next is inspiration. I think kind of sort of it said it now, but community and connections is actually meeting the people, feeling inspired, I would say, is a separate one. So you might get some of that from the community and connection, but just from being in that space, being around that particular coach, do you need that like inspiration, motivation? Do you need that? How important is that to you? Number 3 is just straight teachings, training. Like, do you need to learn? Are you like, okay, I can't get here because I kind of don't know what I should be doing. Like, I need to go and upskill in some areas. Like, do you need to actually go and learn some stuff? And then number 4 is, do you need personalized advice and feedback? So do you need someone to actually, whether it's one-on-one all the time, or maybe they have like not every 90 days, they have some kind of one-on-one contact, or maybe they just have, like, we've got really great hot seat style calls where people get one-on-one feedback a couple of times a week. But do you need that? Like, do you need someone to be able to look at your stuff and go, no, you need to do this, and not, or do you just need to be able to go, I need to learn the next thing, and then maybe be able to ask some questions about how I implement it? So those 4 things, rank them in order, and then use that as your filter when you're looking at the programs. Go, all right, if your number 1 thing is you need to like up level your skills, and maybe it's up level your skills in marketing, or up level your skills in sales, or up level your skills in creating content, or whatever it is, and this person is very good at creating amazing community and having lovely fun, retreats and stuff like that, but there's no actual course content, then that's not going to be the right choice for you. So, or vice versa, if you're like, I kind of know all the stuff, I just need someone to kick my ass and make me do it, then, you need someone who has that inspiration, that accountability, that motivation as a big part of their program. So you can see how, as I mentioned, like at different times of business, we need different things and we value different things. Me personally, like particularly early on, I was like, I just want to learn all the things, teach me all the things. And I still love learning. Like I think I mentioned this already. I'm constantly doing and learning something from a whole gamut, any problem I have, or any kind of, like we got a puppy. I did like 3 online puppy training courses. Like I just love learning. But, at certain points, particularly, more beginner stuff, I was like, I just want to learn all the things. And then later on, I'm like, I'm kind of good with that. What I want is to be, I want to kind of have my eyes opened up a bit more to what's possible. I want to be in rooms with people at next levels and like hear what they're doing and see some of that real work. And other times I've been like, you know what? I don't have the time, particularly when I had a newborn. I'm like, I can't be going to events. I can't be that. I just want to speak to someone once every couple of months, tell them what I'm doing, get them to give me their feedback on that, and be able to ask questions when I need it. And then I'm just going to get on with it. So like you need very different things at different points. So that's why it's so important to know what is available to you. As I said, those 4 things: community and connection, inspiration and motivation, teaching, as in actually learning stuff, and personalized advice and feedback. And then order those things, what in your order of most to least important right now, and just use that as your filter when you are choosing any kind of online program. The next one that's I think is really important is think about, how do you like to engage? Like some people don't engage at all. They're just like, I'm going to go through the work. I'm going to get it done. If I need a question, I'll ask, but otherwise I'm over here. Other people are like, I need a community. I want to be in there. I want to be chatting. I want to be meeting other people. I'm like, I need to be in person. I want to meet people up in person. Like I recently joined a mastermind, and I was looking for one in Australia and I couldn't find one because I was like, I just want to be in a room with people again. And we've had COVID, we've been shut down for 2 years, and I had a baby, and I just want to be like, I want to touch some, well, that sounds creepy, but I want, to be around some humans. And so that was like very much part of my filter. I'm like, who is doing in-person stuff that I can actually get to and attend? Because again, I have a small child and I'm in Australia and it's a bit harder. So that was a big part of my choice. And the same with like how you getting your feedback. Like if you are in a stage of business where you're like, I need someone who's going to give me one-on-one advice, or, I hate Facebook groups. I don't want to have to be asking questions in a Facebook group. I don't want to get those. Like, I think we've all kind of been in those programs where it's like a Facebook group of a few thousand people. And then you ask, and then the coach kind of, these kind of just ask you how you feel about that question. They don't actually answer it. Like, you need to make sure that, okay, how are you happy to get on group calls and, talk about things with other people? Do you need one-on-one? Do you need in person? Do you need a community? Do you need so be real. There's 1,000 different combinations of everything out there. Usually obviously the more high touch, the more one-to-one, the higher the price point will be. So you may prefer one-to-one, but your price point is not quite there, but you want to go, all right, well, what's going to get me the closest to that? But they're all just considerations. They're all just filters to hopefully help you make a really good decision and get into the right program that's going to get you the best results. Okay, and the final one, and this is optional, but I kind of think it's important, is with whoever is leading the program, having a look at their business and how they do business, and how the kind of like bigger picture, because you can tell a lot about what they're going to tell you to do and the types of strategies they're going to advise by looking at what they themselves do. So, I once had a strategy call with a really high level coach who a friend of mine had worked with and loved and had amazing results. I'm like, oh, that sounds, I would, the retreats, everything sounded amazing. I'm like, I would love to work with them. But then I spoke to them and they were like, oh, you've got to speak on stage. You've got to do big events and sell from stage. And I'm like, I am an extremely introverted person who hates speaking publicly, who would it would be my worst nightmare, and that's your number one strategy. Okay, you would not going to be for me. So, and I probably, if I'd done my research prior, would have been like, okay, this is how she sells, so this is how she's going to tell me to sell. So just doing that sense check, looking at if you're a person who loves doing big, loud live launches, go look for the people who do the big, loud live launches. If you're someone who's like, I freaking hate launches, then come and look at us. Or, another person, someone who sells how you want to sell, who markets how you want to market, particularly if it's a program around sales and marketing. It's a pretty easy to see, this is how they do it. Do I like how they do it? Do I want to do it how they do it? And, then you're going to know that you're going to get the kind of advice to kind of build the kind of business that you want to have. So, hopefully, guys, just some little thought starters there if you are out there currently looking for an online program, a mastermind, a next step, some whatever kind of help. These have, since adding these filters into my own decisions, I've definitely saved myself a ton of money. And I'm now in, a program that I'm loving. And so I hope that these questions have helped you guys to make a great decision and to get some great results as well. So that's it from me this week, guys. I hope you've loved it. If you have, DM us, share it, leave us a review. We always love to hear from you guys. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Bye.